and welcome back to another episode. In this episode, I want to talk about this article or this video that's been making the rounds around YouTube and the internet, saying that Jennifer Lawrence's hurricanes are punishment for electing Trump. Now, I watched the video, and I don't think that's what she actually says. Nonetheless, we can kind of draw some lessons out from this episode that I think should be noted. The first thing we're going to do is let's just watch the video, and you'll see what I mean.
When the director was asked about the film, why it was so dark, he said it's a mad time to be alive. And there's certainly a sort of end of days feeling about it. There are many people in America who would say, you know, perhaps it's truer there at the moment than anywhere else. I mean, what are your thoughts about the changes that would happen in your own country over the last year or so?
The first thing I want to note here is just the dynamics that are going on. This reporter, who was apparently from Channel 4 News, from the BBC, is really asking some leading questions. So first off, she starts talking about, dark times. Things have been very bad for the past year, or things. What do you think about the issues that have happened in the past year? So she's looking for something negative here, and Jennifer Lawrence responds by kind of just talking about climate change for a bit. So let's just see what Jennifer Lawrence says.
It's scary. It's this new language that's forming. I don't even recognize it. It's also scary to know it's been proven through science that human activity, that climate change is due to human activity, and we continue to ignore it. And the only voice that we really have is through voting. And
you have voted.
So Jennifer Lawrence responds, and she kind of talks about climate change a bit. But the problem here is that she's just too comfortable. Like she feels she's on the same wavelength as this reporter, and they are. But that's why she is being so unguarded and not really thinking about what she's saying. And she doesn't realize this reporter is going to kind of lead her into areas that she maybe doesn't want to go to. So now I talk about voting and the election.
And we voted, and it was really startling. You're watching these hurricanes now, and it's hard, especially while promoting this movie, not to feel Mother Nature's rage, or wrath.
And it's not just.
And this is where, she sounds really stupid. She sounds like a child, that somehow Mother Nature is thinking or has emotions, and it's responding to something else. And this is where people are kind of getting, she means, the election of Trump. I don't think she's really saying that. She's being, a bit of a bubblehead, but, she's not really linking the election of Trump to climate change or to the hurricanes. But this reporter wants her to do that, and she's going to kind of keep pressing it here. So let's keep
just
going.
About climate change, though, isn't it, in America? It seems to be a time of huge division.
Yeah, it's really polarizing and upsetting. I've heard things and seen things on TV in my own country that devastate me and make me.
Again, this is where Jennifer Lawrence is again not thinking. And if she had a reporter who was challenging her, she might have said like, "Oh, you think things are where's all this division coming from? Well, what do you say when in the past you said you sent out your security detail at some event to try and find Donald Trump, and then you could say F you to him? When you do that, you're basically saying F you to virtually half the country. So when you're acting this way, and yet you're kind of worried about the division in the country, look in the mirror. But you're never going to do that because you're in this media bubble, and you think this lady you're talking to is on your side and that you're kind of in sync. And in fact, she's not. You're in the Washington, Hollywood, LA, New York media bubble. Although even though she's from the BBC, but still it's the same establishment.
I'm sick, and it's just really confusing.
Do you find President Trump confusing?
I don't find him confusing. I think I know exactly what he is.
I kind of doubt you do. But once again, you see at the end that the reporter wants to tease out her to say something negative about President Trump. But here's the thing: no one's going to give you, Jennifer Lawrence, the benefit of the doubt because you don't give other people the benefit of the doubt. You're raising your finger to people and saying "F you." You have no idea what their concerns are or why they might have voted for Trump in the first place. That's why you have no idea why he was elected. And if you don't like President Trump, he is a symptom. He's not a cause. And one part of the big cause is reporters like this and the fact that you guys are just so isolated from a big chunk of the country. And the other thing to point out about this is also why, or a big part of the reason why, the Hollywood box office is having such a terrible time. We used to have movie stars, and a movie star, and Jennifer Lawrence used to be a movie star, at least initially. I mean, she was kind of endearing. She seemed to be almost embarrassed by her fame. She was America's sweetheart. But when you start behaving this way, you're not that way anymore. And people are much less likely to go see your films. And the fact that the establishment is going to put you on Vogue and these kinds of things doesn't matter. And when you see your movie tanking, this kind of stuff is the reason why. And the fact that you're talking to reporters like this who don't challenge you at all is a big part of the problem. But anyway, that's what I think. What do you think of what Jennifer Lawrence is saying? Do you think she's a movie star anymore? I think her career is on the downtrend now. I don't think people are as interested in seeing her as they used to be. Or what do you think about the whole media bubble? Like, I don't think Jennifer Lawrence meant to wrap up Trump with the hurricanes. I think this reporter that was interviewing her did, though, and that's what kind of drew it out. And then because of her actions in the past, people don't give her the benefit of the doubt. But anyway, that's just my quick take on it. I'm interested in what you have to say, and that's it for now. Until next time.